What is up, ninjas? LJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to my village of Nintendo Switch and gaming news. Today, we've got a bunch of great information for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, RiME's publisher says that the cost of manufacturing is also contributing to the higher price of the Nintendo Switch version of their game. So, along with a new release window for RiME, a physical version and price point were announced for the game yesterday. On the Nintendo Switch, it will cost $39.99, whereas other versions will cost $29.99. Graybox, RiME's publisher, already said that prices for our products are based on the cost of development and publishing for each specific platform. Adding to this, the company now tells Kotaku that the cost of manufacturing is also a factor. Now, this is definitely not news that we want to hear. The last part of that was new, that cost of manufacturing is also a factor. So the only thing that I can think of is that they're trying to factor in the cost of actually manufacturing the carts on the Nintendo Switch compared to PS4, Xbox One's physical Blu-ray media. However, the only problem that I see with that is if that is the case, then the digital version of the game should be cheaper. The digital version should be $34.99 if you're factoring in that you're using an outside contractor if you want to do that. And if you're not factoring that in, then it should be $29.99 digitally, then $39.99 for the physical version on the Nintendo Switch. And this is where I cry kind of foul on this one. Now, before, I definitely didn't like it at all either. Obviously, I said that, hey, this is a problem, it's an issue, they need to make sure that they include extra content or give us some exclusive Switch features that they're going to do. But the fact that they're announcing the price and not necessarily saying anything that's going to come with that outside of, well, it costs us more, is definitely not good enough for a lot of gamers out there, and not good enough for myself either. So I will say this, Tequila Works, Graybox, if you guys want to charge more for the Switch version for a physical one, that's fine. You want to factor in the manufacturer carts, that's fine. But don't sit here and tell me it's because of that as far as manufacturing, then charge the same price digitally. Now, if it is a different price digitally, from what I understand, it's not. So please let me know in the comment section below. But don't sit here and tell me that cost of manufacturing plays a part into it, then you charge the same price for the physical version as you are the digital version. So I don't buy that at all, and hopefully they can fix this. But even if they don't, just wait for the price drop, because eventual price drop will come, and then you can just buy it at the price that you feel it's worth. You don't always have to buy it day one, guys. Alright guys, and for the next story here, Reggie, Fils-Aime, the big man over at Nintendo, says that the Nintendo Switch is the best-selling system in the US after 5 days, bringing franchises in addition to a special story. Now, this was from an interview on Facebook, and Reggie had much to say on the Nintendo Switch sales, talking about Zelda in Japan and so much more, in addition to Smash Bros. And more for the other franchises Nintendo has. So there's a lot to go over, so let's go ahead and get right into it here. So we've already announced the first 2 days. So now we have data for the US 5 days in, and it continues to be the best-selling system we've ever had in the United States. And I've launched 5 systems now with Nintendo, and by far, this is the most remarkable given the pace of sales, given what's happening on the software front. Obviously, Legend of Zelda, so this is an amazing time for us. Now, speaking of Zelda, he did say that the new entry is killing it in Japan. That's important of note, since the series has always done well in the West, may have not always caught on in Nintendo's native territory, especially as of late. Reggie was asked about specific games and franchises throughout the interview. Eventually, he said the following regarding Super Smash Bros. What we say is that the philosophy Nintendo has from a development standpoint is that for every platform, we want to have at least one of our classic franchises. There's going to be one great Super Mario experience, there's going to be one great Zelda experience, so you can anticipate at some point in the future, who knows when, that all of our franchises will be addressed. Nothing to announce today. I'm not going to announce a date for Super Smash Bros., but we know that fans love these games, love this content, so stay tuned. Finally, Reggie shared this interesting story about the Nintendo Switch while he was at the airport. I'm traveling, I'm going through TSA. I have an early Nintendo Switch. People had seen it, it wasn't available for sale yet. And of course I'm traveling, playing The Legend of Zelda. So, goes through security, they take a look at it, and the TSA agent happens to be like this super fan. Initially it's just, Reggie, can I get a selfie with you? So we do that. After they recheck my luggage, I do the selfie, I'm getting ready to leave, and I say, do you want to see something really special? We hadn't pulled out the Nintendo Switch. I pulled the Nintendo Switch in the Sheikah Eye Special Carrier, and I showed the TSA agent. He was like a child at the moment, and I mean, it's so wrong on so many levels. TSA agent, selfie, getting all weirded out because I'm carrying a Nintendo Switch, but on a story. Now, I first want to get into the sales of the Nintendo Switch in the US after the first 5 days. So like you said, we did get the first 2-day sales data. They said that it's the best selling so far that they've done, beating the Wii, which sold 600,000 units in the first 8 days or so a week. And now at this point, the Nintendo Switch is actually faster paced than the Wii. We don't know where that number is, but we can easily assume that it's over 500,000 units, over 400,000, easily over that amount. So Nintendo is doing really freaking good with this system. Despite some of the negative PR surrounding it, I do think most people, as far as people who have the system or are playing it, are enjoying it and having a good time. And I think the biggest thing is launching with The Legend of Zelda. Having a big AAA game is very important to the initial sales of your system. That's something that the Wii U really lacked, the 3DS really lacked. The Wii got that, and we saw great sales. And we also saw the combination of a casual game in addition to a core game with Twilight Princess and Wii Sports, and we saw that with the Nintendo Switch, but they actually had a few core games in there and some bridge titles as well. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, one of the best reviewed games ever. 1-2 Switch, not necessarily as highly praised as Wii Sports, but still out there. Some people are enjoying it and liking it. But you also had stuff like Snipper Clips, Fast RMX, and Shovel Knight as exclusives to the Nintendo Switch, or at least timed exclusives in Shovel Knight's case. So I do think that really helped the Nintendo Switch getting that unique content, more quality over the quantity that the Wii U had, with a bunch of ports from PS3 and Xbox 360 that people already played or didn't want to buy. So I do think that definitely helped, and we should see these sales continue because The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game that's good enough to continue to get people to purchase the system as soon as they get the money, or whenever payday is, or whenever they just find one in stores. I'm pretty sure that game is going to keep people coming back to the system as far as buying it, just because of all the review scores as well. People are saying this is the greatest Legend of Zelda game ever created, so you're going to get a lot of old school fans that are like, okay, I'm going to buy this because I want to experience that Legend of Zelda game. And it also helps that Mario Kart 8 is coming out next month. That was the Wii U's best-selling game, so having it on the Nintendo Switch so early in its life cycle is truly going to pay dividends. You guys will see that is an amazing 1-2 punch as far as the first 2 months with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in addition to Mario Kart 8. Holy smokes, that is fantastic. So we should see sales continue on. I know Blaster Master just came out today, and a lot of you dudes are enjoying that as well. Next, I want to talk a little bit about The Legend of Zelda in Japan, which is something that a lot of people don't understand, is that The Legend of Zelda in Japan isn't this huge, massive franchise. Monster Hunter, Pokemon, so many other games are bigger than that. Dragon Quest is even bigger as well. So it's good to see that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild did pretty well, considering that Skyward Sword actually sold around the same on the Wii when it launched back in 2011. And the Nintendo Switch has a far less install base, plus we don't have digital sales at all, so I'm pretty sure it might have surpassed what Skyward Sword did in Japan on the Nintendo Wii. So I think that's pretty freaking good that many people are going out there in Japan and buying this game. I do feel that the open-ended nature of the Nintendo Switch, which I've talked about before, really suits the open-ended nature of the game. The fact that you can take it anywhere, you can go anywhere in Zelda. That is a great just 1-2 right there as far as with that game and what you can do with the system. So I'm really glad to see that the audience in Japan is picking up on Zelda more. But I do feel that the system being portable also really helped the sales of the Nintendo Switch version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, whereas the Wii U version didn't really do well at all because you can't take that on the go, whereas Nintendo Switch, you can take it on the go, and Japanese gamers really like their mobile platforms. Next, I want to get into him saying that the franchises are going to be coming back one after another. So let's hold you to this one, Reggie. We want to see Metroid, we obviously want to see F-Zero, we want to see Star Fox, we want to see all of these games, but I do feel with the Nintendo Switch, since you don't have the whole dual screen thing, I think they're going to go with a much safer route when it comes to those type of games, and they can expand upon things like they did with Legend of Zelda. If Zelda is anything to go by, I'm pretty sure that these next games will take a cue and make sure that their worlds are more expansive to suit the nature of the Nintendo Switch being able to take it anywhere. Now, I'm not expecting an open world Metroid game or an open world F-Zero or anything like that. I'm just expecting more games that are expansive in the world, so you'll be able to go to more areas, won't be so linear. You'll be able to branch with different paths with maybe with the next Metroid game, and I think that could be also another big core seller out there for the core Nintendo fans, people that love the GameCube and the Metroid Prime games on there. So I do feel that those games will come in addition to a deluxe version of Super Smash Bros. Obviously, Smash Bros. Is one of the biggest franchises in gaming, and I don't see how Nintendo would not bring that over to the Nintendo Switch more sooner than later. Maybe an E3 2017 announcement is probably in order here. I think that would be amazing, and I'm a huge Smash Bros. Fan, so as soon as that comes, woo man, that is going to be awesome. Smash Bros. Anywhere you want, but I would like to see a GameCube adapter, so hopefully they do support that. And lastly, his story about the whole TSA agent. That's actually really funny. I'm pretty sure Reggie gets noticed quite a bit. I do think that the Nintendo Switch is just set up for success a lot better than the Wii U ever was, and the fact that you can take it on the go with you is going to be a marketing point in its own right. When people just take it out and people ask, hey, what is that you have? Well, let me show you this awesome game called The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let me show you Mario Kart. Let me show you snipper clips. So good stuff all around. Hopefully Nintendo can continue the momentum with the games that they have and adding new features to the system. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets you know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace!